It is hot. Testing. Oh, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maggie Thatcher was it? Right. Hello, everybody. This is MV. I am broadcasting live from Cardiff. Time over here in the UK is 12:53. So sort of in the middle of lunch or luncheon. Bit of strawberry cream in this bright, hot sunshine. Blue skies, and some white clouds. Trains rumbling past my window. And yeah, summer is here in the UK, that's for sure. And it's only June. So looking forward to a wonderful June. We'll be coming hopefully stateside at some point later on in the year. It'd be lovely to meet one or two people if I could. I'll try and get to that Baseball Hall of Fame. Some point, probably nearer Christmas to be honest. Yes, out of season because it'll be cheaper, hopefully. So, yeah, welcome everybody. It's a bit more time for Howie Shanks. Try to do one on the weekends because it's more time. Work has been incredibly busy for us all. But we have progressed with Howie Shanks. Even I was surprised when I looked at it just now thinking, oh, we're really in August. I had to go back and look at the Discord. I know I've been doing them on the weekends and Beatles have chipped in a little bit and Steve as well, but I didn't realise we'd gone that far. Yeah, so although we've gone that far, Detroit still hold the lead, only with a 2-game lead over Jersey, with the Red Bolts behind 6 games behind. And Hawaii, so we're looking for Hawaii and Manchester to try and keep the pressure on, so we can drag Mudville, Cleveland, and Des Moines back into it. I think North Sound and Arlington are out, possibly Des Moines and Badlands. So it's looking like we're going to finish this league in about 2 weeks. It's been League 2. So good participation on the draft, full participation on the draft actually, and participation throughout the season. But it has rumbled on pretty quickly, as we intended to do. There are other projects pending as well that we're all involved in and work as well. So I'm going to try and rumble it on. I think we can see where this is heading already in terms of Detroit and Jersey. But who knows? We don't know. So I'm going to do a game here. And the US, it's probably morning time, early morning. I think probably about 8 o'clock in the morning. So some of you still not out of bed yet, or out of bed and heading to work. Some of you at work, some of you pretending to be at work, and some of you at home. So hopefully you pick up this broadcast. Those in the UK, we have a very special day here today in the UK in terms of sports. It's the first day of the Ashes, which is a traditional England versus Australia cricket test match. That is a rivalry that goes back over 100 years. That starts today. Both teams excited, but I'm excited to see how both teams get on. Australia are the official world champions of Test cricket, and I think also one-day cricket. No, England are the one-day champions. T20 champions, I think, are Australia. So in those 3 formats of the game, Australia are world champions in 2 of them, I think. Definitely world champions in cricket. And England play a brand of cricket known as Bazball, which has revolutionised Test cricket. Very aggressive, so I might do a little bit of that on my cricket captain later on after the stream. So I've got a couple of hours before I start doing my stuff and do my normal home stuff. So today we're looking at the schedule and let's have a butcher's hook. Like I said, I'm keen to get this game, well, we are keen to get the league to an end pretty much. It's been a good draft league, and that's what it really was. You know, getting the draft done, see how your team performs. The management of it is kind of a secondary thing. It's not, you can't get everyone here all the time, I get it. So we've done our best to speed it along. It'll be nice to do the draft league same as before and set our AI up and let the AI control injuries. It can be done now. I think we've recognised it can be done. I think we've all recognised the nuances of the AI. I definitely have. So it can be done, so the league can go at a faster pace. If you want to manage, that has another league set up all entirely on its own. So, without further ado, I am looking at city matchups that we want to see. I can't do my own team, so let's have a look. Detroit Badlands, Saberhagen Tiant already screams a good matchup. Only because Badlands are playing at home. It's a slugger's ballpark. Tiant isn't that much worse than Saberhagen. And we don't see Badlands that often, but we do see a lot of Detroit. So, we could look to Des Moines, who I do like watching. So that's Grove versus King. It's a good matchup. DeGrom Day can't do that one. Bad, so it's a doubleheader in Detroit, doubleheader in Hawaii. We haven't seen much of North Sound, but we've seen a lot of Jersey. And Cleveland and Arlington, we've seen some Cleveland. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do Tom Seaver versus Toad Ramsey. So Jersey at North Sound's our featured game today. So, without further ado, let's play ball. So D. Scott Howard's North Sound. Playing at what looks like the Superdome. Oh, I've got a new picture in, I noticed. Even I didn't notice what I've done for my own stuff. So, without further ado, let's see what the computer suggests. Yes, it's Tom Seaver. Toad Ramsey, left-hander. Saved lineup. Versus Tom Seaver, so that's a righty lineup. Why is that now saying we need a third baseman? So, Frankie Frisch and Stan Hack are out, but there's a ready replacement in Troy Glass. So I know there's a T. Scott Howard, you've got an interest in Stan Hack and Frankie Frisch. And this is where, if we're doing the League of the Future, let the AI handle the roster, I guess, but then it does make some errors. You have to allow for it. You have to really set your area really tight so it doesn't take players out that you don't want to. And it can be done. I've definitely seen it this time around. View opponent. So it says you're off to over the roster limit. So Babe Herman, Frankie Frisch, that's 3 out. 4 Hines. So there's a 5th one. So you're going to take out Hershiser. Oral Hershiser. It's not pitched, so he can easily become inactive. Done. Okay, so let's do this. View opponent. This is going to be a lefty lineup. It'll choose the best lefty lineup you can do. This is a lineup I recognize. Clarkson at 3rd. Why? Oh, wow. George Brett is out. And I just said Gordon. Pitchers, not catchers. Jack Taylor needs a rest. Ooh. So, to make it easy so that Clue doesn't get a pin penalty, we need to be resting Jack Taylor for a little bit. It's only 1 game, so I'll let Clue do that. It looks as if they're over the roster limit too. Let's play ball. Let me get my headset in, because I keep forgetting to put the headset on. Microphone's working. Make a final adjustments here in my little pod of PlayStation 5, fan, laptops, wires. Of course, a flash soon, I'd be surprised. So, greetings everyone, let's play ball. Now, some people are missing. So, quick, because there's a new picture that's automatic. I downloaded some pictures recently, so it's automatically inserted something, which means it's now into. So, the way to do it, go in there, reset labels, then it automatically set things up on the boundaries. That's good, so that's good, that's good, that's good. Left field, center field, let's adjust that slightly. And this is Beatles Eternally. If you want to see the actual tutorials, Beatles Eternally has quite a few. I think Steve Tate on his channel has quite a few. So welcome, welcome, welcome if you're in. I'm not looking at the chat just yet. I do like the chat on Players 5 because you can see it immediately. Okay, so right field. This is the Seattle Superdome, chosen by D. Scott Howard. Just adjusting a little park field there. I think we're good to go. Look through any window, yeah. What do you see? Hollies, 1965. Sorry, just playing around with this stuff. There we are, all good. So, welcome everyone. This is Suzuki's too close to Campanella. Let's just quickly move the lefty away. There's Boris Johnson. Man in the news is unveiled as the new Daily Mail columnist. So that's old Boris getting a new job already. Good Lord, that man is always in the news. There we go. It's better. Right, so here we go. So in the field for the North Sound Lumberjacks, Roy Campanella behind the plate. Oh my. Campanella behind the plate. At first, George Sisler, who's just come back from injury. Second base, a Snuffy Sternweiss. At short, Ernie Let's Play Two Banks having a very poor season. At third, Troy Glaus is two third basemen down for the Lumberjacks, but they still got Troy Glaus who's having a pretty much on par season, but for his power numbers are down. But not much down, just needs to play more. In left field, Ryan Braun, cheating Ryan Braun. In center field, Mike Trout having a very poor season. In right field, swinging Sammy Sosa. So the offense has really let them down in North Sound. Pitchers haven't been too bad. They've got two of the best pitchers in the league, in Toad Ramsey and Johnny Wright. Johnny Wright, the Negro League, has really caught me by surprise, or caught everyone by surprise. But they just haven't had the offense, despite having offensive players, which means it's more likely to be their ballpark that's had some negative effects. Just looking at the effects at the top of the screen, as I get my chat going now. Yep, perfect. You can see that this is a field that is good on the home run hitting for lefties, but not for righties. They've got quite a lot of right-handed power, and that's probably where the problem is. Here we go, leading off with Ichiro Suzuki. Tom Seaver for Jersey going against Toad Ramsey. Let's let it play out. Suzuki steps in against Ramsey. Here's the 0-1. And a towering ball down the right field line. And that is taken by Sammy Sosa. One away. As you can hear my flycatcher in the background. Really cramped up spacing I've got here at the moment. I'm not sure what I've done. But my mouse is really struggling. What is wrong with it? It's like it's wrapped around something that I can't see. Oh, right, here we go. Stepping in there was Ed Delahanty. Batting .294 on the year. 8 home runs, 53 ribbies. Here's the 0-2 from Toad Ramsey. And that's not what Delahanty was looking for. He struck out. Brings up league leading Norm Cash. He leads the league with a .348 batting average. 6th in the league with 87 ribbies. Lefty against lefty. Wells on the deck. And there he's out of there. 1-2 offer from Ramsey, inside corner. And that's the end of the inning, or the half inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1, 2, 3. Jersey go down. Leading off for the Lumberjacks is Ben Chapman. Chapman was leading off with, here's a 3-2 count. High and away. He draws a walk to first. As we continue to adjust the field settings. And it's George Sisler at the plate. Sisler to bunt. And Seaver picks off the runner at first. Chapman lunged to first. Picked up by Tom Terrific. One away. Here's Sisler. Seaver gets the sign. Here's the 1-2, and there's a line drive to right field. It's going to be a double for George Sisler. Well, Manning scoring position for the Lumberjacks. Here steps in Mike Trout. Brown on deck. Runner on second. Seaver checks the runner. First pitch to Trout. Trout hits it to left field. And Delahanty against the wall. Has it, throws to against Sizzler at third. Sizzler is safe. So Ryan Braun at the plate. Runner on third. Here's the 0-1 from Tommy Terrific. Popped up to the catcher, and that's going to be all she wrote. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. And that's leading off the top of the second inning, and on a 8-game hitting streak is Willie the Devil Wells. Jersey looking to get some gains up on Detroit at the moment. He's red hot. He's batting over 400 in August. Here's the 1-0, and Wells pops this up to short. Banks taps his glove, and that's a put out, and that's one away. Brings up Buster Posey. He's batting .385 against lefties. And a deep drive to right center field. This one could go. It's off the wall, and Buster Posey has a double. So here come the Blue Claws. Really still in contention for this league. Ramsey looks in as Chase Utley at the plate. Chase Utley, 309 average on the season. Irvin on deck. Runner on second. Here's the 1-2. Struck him out. So Ramsey gets his third strikeout of the game already. There's Monty Irvin. This is Negro League Monty Irvin. Coming in from the right-hand side. Ramsey looks in. Man on second. Here's the 0-1 from Toad. Fastball. Sharply hit down the third baseline, and Glaus will let that one go foul. Irvin steps back in. Man on second. Ramsey sets. Here's the 0-2. And Monty Irvin chased a pitch out of the zone, and that retires the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. After 1.5 innings, Jersey nothing, North South nothing. Stepping in now is slinging, swinging, Sammy Sosa. Not so much swinging so far. As my friends tell you, my friend tells me she's COVID clear. So, gentlemen, would you go to see a friend who's just recovered from COVID? Here's a 3-2 from Seaver. Struck him out. Here's Ernie Banks. Seaver with the first pitch. Fastball. Ground between first and second. Utley has it over to Cash. And Banks is retired. Brings in Snuffy Sternweiss. And there's an injury here. First pitch to Sternweiss. Sternweiss hits this into right field. Suzuki has it. So there's an injury there. Man at second base. How many injuries have we got here? Well, it looks like we've got 2 injuries here. So we need a runner for Sternweiss. We're going to bring in Bunny Downs. But it looked like we had 2 injuries. Or was that just me looking... I had a message about COVID and it distracted me, folks. I'm not sure what happened there. We looked like we had an injury. Anyway, here's Roy Campanella. At the plate. 2 men out. Here's the payoff pitch. And outside on the black by Seaver. Punch out. No runs, 1 hit, no errors after 2 complete. Jersey nothing, now Sound nothing. Looks like we got a pitching matchup, which we wanted. Stepping in, Dale Murphy. Top of the third. He's batting only .229. 20 homers and 76 ribbies. Here's the first pitch, and that is hit down the third on an error by Glaus. The hot grounder was bubbled by Glaus at third, and Dale Murphy is safe at first. Brings in John Clarkson. Now, isn't Clarkson a pitcher? Third base. Let's have a look at Clarkson here. Clarkson normally a pitcher. He's playing third. I thought I'd change that. Anyway, Ramsey throws over and Murphy's safe. Murphy 80 steals on the season. Clarkson hits it towards third. Glaus has it, and that's 2 away. Brings up Ichiro Suzuki 0 for 1. Red hot in August. Batting 4-2-2. Here's the 2-2. Struck him out. Struck him out. There's Ed Delahanty. Delahanty struck out last time up. Runner on first. Here's the 2-1. Line drive towards right center field. Base hit for Ed Delahanty. And Murphy will run down to third. He is safe. Brings up Norm Cash. Run on first and second. Ramsey's set. Here's the 0-2. Fastball. Swung and a miss by Norm Cash. And the end of that half inning. No runs, one hit, one error. Brings up the Lumberjacks. Here's Troy Glaus. Just needs to play a bit more often. He lays off. Here's Seaver with a 3-0. Just outside. And Glaus was taking all the way. He's at first. Here's Ben Chapman. Walked last time up. Man on first. Seaver with the 0-1. That's foul to right. Chapman will trot back down to the plate. Tom Seaver on the season. He's 10-4 with a 4.41 ERA. Chapman now batting. Runner on first. Seaver checks the runner. Here's the 0-2. There goes Glaus. Palsy fires down to second, and they get Glaus. It's going to be a double play. So the pitch was a strikeout, and they got the runner. So double play. So George Sisler now steps in. Seaver with a breaking ball, bunted down by Sisler, and he's going to be safe. It's bunted down the first base line. Cash let it roll, but the ball stayed fair. Sisler has got some speed. He's got 14 steals on the season. Man on first. Seaver keeps an eye. First pitch to Trout. Sisler going for second. Called strike. Posey down to second. He is safe. Sisler safe at second. Steal number 15 for George Sisler. Stepping in is Mike Trout. Runner on second. Seaver stares in. 3-1 count to Trout. That's high. Trout lays off the pitch. He's walked. So Lumberjacks threatening. They've got a record of 51-60. There's Ryan Braun. Sosa on deck. Payoff pitch to Braun. Seaver gets the K. Seaver works out of the jam. No runs, one hit, no errors after 3 complete. Jersey nothing, sound nothing, no sound nothing. Wells popped up to short, and Wells, leading off here in the 4th, gets a double. So Woody Wells off the mark with the day with a double. It was a Buster Posey. Posey batting .370 on the season. 1 for 1 today. He digs in, runner on second. Ramsey with a 1-0. That's line down the first base line. He's going to get a double as Sosa messes around with it. And Buster Posey slides into second. So 1-0 Jersey. They go into the lead. Chase Utley at the plate. Here's the first pitch. Ground ball between first and second. Sisler to his right. Tosses to Ramsey covering, and that's an out. Posey moves to third. 1 out here, top of the 4th inning. Monty Irvin at the plate. Here's Ramsey with a 3-1, and he walked Irvin. So Posey at third, Irvin at first. Steps in now is Dale Murphy, 0 for 1. Runners at corners. Ramsey checks the runner at first. Here's the 1-0. Sharp ground ball to second. They'll go over to first. Got him. Double play. Double play executed nicely there by the Lumberjacks. But we've lost Stuffy Sternweiss with Ernie Banks and Bunny Downs executing the double play. Here's swinging, slinging, slangy Sammy Sosa, batting .216. Here's the 1-2. I will have to take a station break as someone persists in trying to get hold of me. A female. So, bear with me a moment. And we're back. Ernie Banks at the plate. Banks steps in. Seaver has the sign. Hammer down the left field line. This one could go, might go, and has gone. Ernie Banks down the left field line. And it's great to see Ernie Banks getting into it because he's really struggled this season. And the North Sound Lumberjacks have come back into this 1-1. There's Buddy Downs replacing Stuffy Sternweiss. And Seaver strikes him out. Brings up Roy Campanella. Klaus on deck. Here's the 1-2. Ground ball towards third. Clarkson has it. Up to Cash. Got him. And if you wonder why John Clarkson's playing third, we have some injuries to all the third basemen at the Jersey Blue Claws. So here we go. Drink some water. It's so hot. Oh yes. Just hydrate. Here's John Clarkson. Rare appearance at bat. And strikes out. So Ramsey gets the strikeout. Top of the fifth. Suzuki at the plate. 0-2. Here's the fastball, and a base hit between third and short. Suzuki's on, so I'm just going to change the preferences here. So it's a full screen for a quicker play-by-play. Hope you can still see it, or hear it. Here's Ed Delahanty. Suzuki on first. Ramsey throws it over. Here's the 0-1 to Ted, and to Delahanty, it gets away from Campanella. Wild pitch. So Ichiro now on second. 1-1 to count. Delahanty drives it to right field. Suzuki's going to get around third. No, he doesn't. He stops. Did not want to take on the arm of swinging, slinging Stanley Sosa in right field. One man out. Norm Cash up at the plate. There's the 3-1, and Norm will walk, bases loaded here for the Blue Claws, who's battling for the top place. Need to get these victories to keep the heat on Detroit. Here's Willie Wells at the plate, 1 for 2 today. Bases loaded. Wells has already got 1 grand slam on the season. Here's the 1-2, and Ramsey strikes him out. Brings up Buster Posey. Buster, 2 for 2 today. Here's the 0-2, and that's driven past Ernie Banks, and Suzuki will score. Delahanty will score. So big hit for Buster Posey. And there's still 2 men on for the Blue Claws. As Chase Utley steps up now. Ramsey with the pit 1-1. That's hit deep to center field. And Mike Trout has it for the out. So the end of 4.5. Jersey now sprinting to the lead, 3-1. North Sound 1. So North Sound just needs to get back in it at the bottom of the fifth. Let's see what Seaver does with Klaus. Klaus down the third. Clarkson fields it over the first. Got him. Klaus out of there. Ben Chapman steps in. Here's 1-0 for 1. Seaver with the 2-0 pitch and a line out to right field. Suzuki didn't have to move. Here's George Sister. 2 for 2 today. He's had a single and a bunt. A successful bunt last time up. Coming in from the left-hand side. Here's the 0-1 from Seaver. And a slice to left field. And Delahanty has it. So 5 are in the books. Jersey 3, North Sound 1. Toad Ramsey still out there. Tight ball game. Monty Irvin at the plate. He's 0 for 1 today. There's the 0-2 and a 9th striker for Toad Ramsey. Toad Ramsey doing very well on the mound. Here's up Dale Murphy. Murphy 0 for 2 today. Here's the 0-2 and he strikes out. 10 strikeouts with Toad Ramsey, one of the best pitchers in the league. Brings up John Clarkson, normally a pitcher. Big injury crisis at Jersey. The 2 third basemen now. Clarkson hits this deep to center field. Trout will come in for it, and he's out. So the under 5.5, Jersey 3, North Sound 1. Leading off for North Sound in the bottom of the fifth, Mike Trout. Trout 0 for 1. There he is, batting from the right-hand side. There's the first pitch, and Trout lines this past Willie Wells, and there's a base hit for Mike Trout. Brings up Ryan Braun 0 for 2 today. He's a right-hand hitter. Seaver is ready. Here's a 2-0. There goes Trout. And Brown strokes us in the left field. And Trout will go all the way to second. And he's going to go to third. So Ryan Braun gets Trout into scoring position. As Sammy Sosa steps up. Sammy's got 20 home runs on this season. Not good, though, in terms of batting average. He's 0 for 2. Seaver looks in. Here's the 0-2. No, Posey coming out to speak to him. Here's the 0-2. And Sammy swings straight at it. Strings a bad pitch there. And that's 1 out. Sammy struck out 3 times today. Zerny Banks, runners on the corners. Banks 1 for 2, batting on the right-hand side. There goes Braun. Banks strokes it to Clarkson. Clarkson to Utley. Trout will score. But they'll get Brown at second, so a run does score. It's 3-2. North Sound looking to come back into it. Banks at first. Not a threat to steal. Here's Bunny Downs. Bunny Downs, a replacement player for Stuffy Sternweiss. That ball hit the shallow center field, and Dale Murphy will come in and dive for it, and he has it. So 1 hit, 2 hits, no errors, 6 are in the books. Jersey 3, North Sound 2. Leading off for Jersey in the top of the 7th, Ichiro Suzuki, right fielder. Here's his 1-0, and Suzuki is going to go for 2, and he's got it too. Got a double. Wow, the heat's really killing me here. Stepping against Ed Delahanty. Ed Delahanty's really moved his batting average up. He's nearly up to 300. Real slow start, and he's got hot. Delahanty 2 for 3. Suzuki on second. Jersey really need this win to stay in touch with Detroit. And Ramsey's going to walk Delahanty to get to Cash. That's dangerous. No, Cash is batting 347. But he is 0 for 2 today. Here's the 0-2. And Cash swung and a miss. And Evans strikeouts for Toad Ramsey. 1 man out, 2 men on. Top of the 7th. Here's Willie Wells. Wells 1 for 3 today. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and Wells rips this to left field. This one is out of here. 3-run home run by Willie Wells. So you walk Cash. So you walk to get to Cash, you get Cash, but then you get burned by Willie the Devil Wells. And Jersey have broken this one open. Toad Ramsey shaking his head on the mound. Maybe he got the wrong pitch from Campanella, but either way, that one is gone. Buster Posey now at the plate. He's had 3 for 3. If anyone's hot, it's Buster. Batting .378 on this season, yet he gets platooned. There's the 2-0, and there's a base hit into right field. Buster's really broken out. Hit number 4 for Buster. It's 4 for 4. Chase Utley, 0 for 3. And now there's a pitcher in this. As Anderson comes in to pitch for Toad. And Utley enlists to center field, and it's out, 2 out. So on the mound now is a very effective Fred Anderson. Some good players they've got here. Here's Irvin at the plate. He's over 2. They grounds up to Banks. Banks to Downs, and they get Posey. 6.5 gone. Jersey 6, no sound 2. So, bear with me a moment. Plate is over 2. They grounds up to Banks. Banks to Downs, and they get Posey. 6.5 gone. Jersey 6, no sound 2. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Back at the ball game. Jersey is now pulling away from the Lumberjacks. Here's Roy Campanella. Catcher. Here's the 0-1 to Campy. Grounded to third. Clarkson with the error at third. Clarkson playing in place of George Brett. Another injured man for the Jersey Blue Claws. So Campy's on first. Here's at the plate, Troy Glaus, third baseman. Tommy Terrific on the mound, pitched 95 pitches so far. Here's the 2-2, and that's line straight to Willie Wells. 2 away. Ben Chapman steps in, he's 0 for 2. Here's the 3-1 from Tommy Terrific, and that's 3-1 to count, and he walks him. Here's Joe Sisler now, the first baseman. 2 for 3 today. Here's the 1-2, and a line drive to right field. Sisler's going to go for 2. Chapman's coming all the way around to score, and another run in for the Lumberjacks. 6-3. Ben Chapman scores. Excellent hitting by George Sisler. Here's Seaver now with Mike Trout at the plate, and Trout buffs this up, but foul. Playing at the Superdome. Seaver pitched 130 pitches. Here's Mike Trout at the plate. Here's the 0-2 to Trout, and Trout listens to left field, but Delahanty will have it out in left, and that is the end. After 7 complete, Jersey 6, North Sound 3. On the mound for North Sound, after Toad Ramsey has left the ball game, is Fred Anderson. Every time I've seen Anderson on the mound in relief, he looks quite solid. Here we go. Little morning baseball if you're in North America. Afternoon baseball if you're in the UK. And early evening if you're on the other side of Europe and Asia. Anderson looks in. Dale Murphy 0 for 3 today. Steps in. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Driven back at Anderson, and that's the first down. Bottom of the 8th here. North Sound looking to come back into a trail 6-3. Here's John Clarkson, normally a man on the mound, but with the injury crisis at Jersey, he's actually found a bat in his hand. Here's the 1-0, and Anderson lifts high to right field, and Sosa makes up the ground, and he has it. That's 2 away. Stepping in from the left-hand side, right fielder, Ichiro Suzuki. Anderson now, he's ready. Here's the 0-1. Ichiro grounds it straight to Bunny Downs. Downs over to Sisler. Got him. 1 away. Sorry, end of the inning, I should say. And after 7.5 innings, Jersey 6, North Sound 3. Bottom of the 8th. Ryan Braun steps in, left fielder. 1 for 3 today. Tom Seaver on the mound. There's the 1-0 pitch. Brown lifts it to center field. Murphy will run under it and close his glove on that one. 1 away. There's Sammy Sosa. 3 strikeouts today, an 0 for 3 performance. He is their power man. There's the 0-2, and Sosa doesn't like that call. Seaver gets the 8th K of the game for him, and Sosa looks at the umpire, but he's going back to the bench. Another poor day at the office for Sammy Sosa. Stepping in now is Ernie Banks with 2 outs. He's the shortstop. Seaver looks in, gets his sign from Posey. He kicks and delivers on the 1-0. And Banks hits this to short center field, and Murphy would drift in. And that is the inning. So after 8 complete, no runs, no hits on that performance from North Sound, no errors. It's Jersey 6, North Sound 3. Top of the 9th, Ed Delahunty, the left fielder, stepping in from the left-hand side. Anderson on the mound. Here's the 2-1. Ed Delahunty grounds it to Banks. Banks has it and moves to his left and throws it down to Sister, and that is 1 away. Stepping in from the left-hand side is Norm Cash, the first baseman. It's 0 for 3 today. Todd Ramsey had him locked up, but Toad's out of the ballgame. There's the first pitch to Cash. That's hit to right field. That one could go. It's against the wall, and a double for Norm Cash, one of the leaders of the league so far in hitting, if not the leader. So a double for Norm Cash. He's broken out of that mini slump of 0 for 3, now 1 for 4. Norm Cash hit .361 in the season he's come from. Very good pick. And he's batting .348 here in a really all-star league, so he's done well. Here's Willie the Devil Wells, one of the Negro Leaguers. He steps in now, 2 for 4. Manning scoring position for the Blue Claws. Here's the 2-2. And Wells is on base. I seem to skip through that one. As Wells got on base, Posey came up next. Hit a fly ball to center field. A double click. Apologies. But so, Blue Claws, top of the 9th. Cash on second. Wells on first. He got on. That was the double click. And Chase Utley 0 for 4 today. Future Hall of Famer at the plate. Here's the 2-1 to Utley. Utley grounds it to left field, and Cash will score as Utley chugs into second, and a double number 57 for Chase Utley. And another run on to the Blue Claws ledger. 7-3 they lead. Stepping into the box down from the right-hand side is a DH Monty Irvin. Irvin 0 for 3. Runner on second, that's Utley. Runner on third, that's Wells. Here's the pitch to Irvin. Irvin gets us down to second. Downs moved to his left and over to Sizzler. Got him. So after 8.5 innings, Jersey 7, North Sound 3. And now we have Bunny Downs at the plate. Bunny, a replacement in-game for the injured Snuffy Sternweiss, who was injured running to second earlier on in the ballgame. Bunny 0 for 2. Seaver looks in. Posey puts the sign down. There's the 0-1, and that's grounded to Utley. Utley moves to his left, and he throws it to Cash, and that's 1 down. So nice move to the left by Utley. He fielded it, got it down to the first baseman Cash. So Tom Seaver going for the complete game here. He's given up 7 hits. Just these 2 more outs. And in steps the catcher, Roy Campanella. Seaver is ready. There's the 2-1. And that's grounded to Wells. Wells with a diving play. Up he gets it over to Cash. Got him. Excellent play by Willie Wells. So now down to the last out for the Lumberjacks. As Troy Glaus comes in, a last-minute replacement. Seaver tugs at his pants. Narrows his eyes and gets a sign from Posey. There's Troy Glaus waiting. He's ready. There's the 1-2. Glaus hits it to center field. Murphy drifts under it and closes his glove in it. And that's the end of the ball game. Jersey Blue Claws get a critical win on the road. 7-3 over the Lumberjacks. And let's just see the statistics. So, Wells, 2 for 4. Buster Posey, 4 for 5. Ed Delahunty, 2 for 4. And looking at that scorecard, Don Cash had a difficult day with Toad Ramsey on the mound, but the Jersey Blue Claws win it. Seaver goes to 11-4. Toad Ramsey is 11-13. So the Lumberjacks have got some pitching, just not much hitting. So you look at their season statistics. Joe Sizzler seems to be doing pretty well. Should be a Red Bolt, actually. One of my players. So I picked him. Seaver, 11-4. His record there gave up just 2 earned runs in the ball game. Had 8 strikes. Well, I was very impressed, really, with Toad Ramsey, but Ramsey just couldn't handle all that pressure from the Jersey Blue Claws. 6 innings, and he was lifted for Fred Anderson, who normally does well in relief. So that's the end of the ball game. We look for anything miscellaneous. The MVP was Tommy Terrific. The injury was to Snuffy Sternweiss. So we will look at the rest of the inning, the rest of the day. Let's see if we can do another one. Let's have a Butcher's Hook, Luke. Scheduled games. So we've just seen one North Sound in 3. Let's do Mudville, Manchester. I can't play it because that's me and Beatles, or Beatles and I, to be exact. So we'll press auto. Manchester roll into Mudville. Mudville trying to hang into the race. Here's the auto, and Mudville, damn it, beat Manchester, my team, 4-1. Leon Day with the win. Jacob deGrom, who's been awful. Absolutely pants. Here we go. DeGrom drops to 7-9. Leon Day, Negro League, goes to 10-12. Babe Ruth, 1 for 4. Case, 2 for 4. George Foster, 2 for 4. But what happened in this one? Come on, let's see where we went wrong. He's left 7 on base, so he didn't do that badly. Joe Morgan, in a rare appearance, 0 for 3. Josh Gibson, 0 for 3. Wow, they must have done well. Day must have been on it. Leon Day, no extra stars, so just pitched. I mean, he gave up only 2 hits. Leon Day. He's not that good. Here's my powerhouse team. Anyway, let's see what else we got. Badlands Detroit will be a offensive showdown. So here we go. And, I'm wrong. Tia beat Saberhagen. Quick look. And Badlands beats Detroit. That's what Detroit did not expect. So Saberhagen taken down by Louis Tiant. Only gave up 2 hits. Wow. Shooter's Joe went 1 for 3. Pete Rose and Gary contributed to the win. It was a doubleheader, so let's go and see the second one. This time Detroit reverses the fortunes. They win 7-4. And Mark McGuire busts out a 2 for 3 performance. Lowe Derek Lowe with the win, 10-1. He's been very well this season. Britton with the save. That's a really good performance. I think he's been the best one for Steve this year. Billy Ryans, 9 innings. So interesting again for Badlands. They do have the offense, but no pitching. I mean, nothing. So let's have a look. So we get to the next day. So Des Moines and Hawaii. Let's do that one. Rob Tomlinson loves his team. And they've taken a shellacking from Lawrence's Hawaii team, who are not out of it. They're not out of it. Here we are. Nap Lajoie has come to life in the second half of the season, 3 for 6. Jim Gentile, 3 for 4. Juan Soto, 2 for 5. Ray Shock, 1 for 1. Renteria, 3 for 5. Todd Helton. Look at that, 20. Something went wrong in the 7th. The wheels came off for Silver King and company. And the second, the doubleheader. Let's have a look. Mort Cooper gets the win for Des Moines. Mort Cooper's having a good season, 12-7. And despite Tim Lincecum, who's having some great stuff, he must have got tired real quick because he was on it. He gave him no earned runs in 6 innings. Yet they lost. Melton blew the save. And they hung in there. And Des Moines is one of those teams that they can beat anybody with their defense and tenacity, apart from that one game there. Box. So we get to Cleveland, Arlington. Seen a lot of the other teams. We're going to auto this one as well. And the winner, Cleveland, 18-5. 18-5. Weedman gets the loss, 22 hits. I mean, come on. He should be out of there after 5 earned runs. See, the AI has not been set for Arlington because we haven't done it for Robbie. Robbie's not really been here, so we've left it as it is. It's almost sad to change it now because everyone needs the same advantage that everyone else has had. Start changing it now. Whoever's got to play Arlington next it'll be almost at a disadvantage, if that makes sense, unless Robbie does it himself. Brown with the win. And Joe Mara looking good there. So we come to the end of the day. And what I'm doing now is going to sim. Yes, sim. Until Saturday and then pick it up again. No. We're going to sim until the 17th. Here we go. So basically, I played a game and I'm simming a week. And then let's see where we are. Just racing through the league. It's looking good for Fred Dunlap. I'm not sure that's his right batting average. And it's still looking like Detroit's ahead of Jersey still. Mudville, Manchester. Ugh, lost again. Damn it. There we go. So, let's cut a long story short. We shall do one game. We go to the 18th. So on the 18th, here's the standings on the 18th. Detroit leads by 5 over Jersey. Manchester still in it, just 7. Hawaii 9 games back. Mudville are 13 out, they're not out of it. Cleveland are out of it. But I think Des Moines and North Sound now may be out of it now. Unless some miracle happens. Shall we do one more week? Yeah, why not? Sim it. The only reason I'm doing this is because everyone's pretty much set. It's difficult to keep the game going, league going week by week. So I'm sitting through. Here we go, more sims. That gives us a chance to do another draft league where we can change the rules slightly. Oh my god, I dropped 2 in a row. Jeez. Oh, Manchester, what have you done? Against Arlington, of all people. So I mean, Arlington plays spoiler all the time. See if we get a pennant race going right at the end. Oh, it's looking tight. Detroit look like they've dropped a few. So Hawaii's only 6 games out. Manchester out by... So it's getting tight. So just by fast forwarding it. Right, I'll definitely stop here. And let's have a look. So here's the league. We'll just put the standings on in a minute. And we're going to do today's game, scheduled game. Jersey and Detroit are so close. Right, that's what we got today. So I'm going to play a game. And I will play... It's going to be Hubble versus Young. Let's see Cy Young, who I cannot stand. Let's see him take a beating. Or Walter Johnson and Ramsey. We just saw Toad Ramsey, so probably not. Saberhagen versus Alexander is a great game. Can Mudville stop the Detroit Express? I probably will go with Mudville. Although I probably could do 2 ball games. But what I'll do, I'll hang on to the file. And I will probably do 2 later on. Saberhagen and Alexander looks juicy. I want to do it now. I really want to do it now. But that's 40 minutes of my life dedicated to this. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. So, we're going to do a game today. It's going to be Hubble versus Young, or Saberhagen versus Alexander. I haven't got my chat on, I can't see it. I suspect there are one or two still in there. So greetings, everyone. It's very hot here in the UK, so if you see less of my voice, hey! Hello, Big Clue. Here we go. So there we go. So you are in the room. I didn't see you all. Yeah, John Clarkson. So let's have a look. What happened was you had an injury. 2 injuries, Clue. And that's why I was saying, there must be a point where we put the AI back on. So we can't monitor every single game. But here we are, Clue. Let's have a look. I saw it as well. I did see it at the beginning of your game. So, standings. Jersey. They've recovered now, Clue. But you had, at the time of that game, was Sid Gordon and George Brett were out. Brett's out to the 29th of September, but you did have Sid Gordon, but Gordon also got injured. And it was like, well, who plays third? I think Irvin was around, but the only one apart from that was Clarkson. Jack Taylor had rest beside his name. He's also your pitcher. So you've got to watch his usage. Although the AI did it for you, so that was good, because he doesn't have rest anymore. You were just out of third baseman. Monty Irvin did play in that one game, funny enough, I saw it. So, there are a couple of people inactive. Just make sure that you've got your inactives right. You've only got 4. It was 5 inactive. But that's George Brett makes the 5th. So, if you're here... Yeah, I know. I think because Clarkson has a third base rating. It's crazy. It's absolutely mental. But he does have a third base rating. That's the funny thing. I noticed that. I thought, hang on a minute. Why is he in there? He's got a 1. And these guys were out. Had you been around for that particular day, you might have changed. Delahanty was playing left field, if I remember correctly. He had a rest on. He was definitely injured. Sid Gordon had an injury. Does it show it? He did have an injury, I can guarantee you that. But yeah, it put Clarkson at third. But the reason why I think he did is because the others were playing and there were other injuries. But yeah, weird. By the way, Buster Posey is hitting nearly 400. Do you want to have him play over Ed Bailey? You're platooning at the moment. Yeah. I wasn't paying. I didn't see the chat at all. But anyway, you actually didn't lose at all. Funny enough, you're actually closer to You're closer to Steve than you were before. You're 2 games out. Then Manchester, then Hawaii, then Mudville, then Cleveland, and Des Moines. So, Clue, any changes, Rob? Any changes? You're quite close. But George Brett is out for sure, and Sid Gordon was out, but he's back. Any changes? No, good, because he's done well. Here we go. So, one more game. So, we've got Jersey Des Moines, which would be Hubble, Cy Young. I really want to see Cy Young, only because I want to see him lose, but also because Rob is in here as well, or was in here. And also, you're in here, Clue, so let's do that one. Cy Young and Carl Hubble. There we are. So here's the Demons. It's going to be a left versus a lefty. So there's your picture against lefties. I'll put your load up versus lefty just to make sure. That's what it did. So I've loaded up your save lineup versus lefties. This is what you have. This is Des Moines. This is Rob. If Rob is still in here. So Rob, you have a missing first baseman. This is where it gets hard to track it. Todd Hamilton is saying needs a rest, but you can play him. Bonnie Serrell, Negro Liga, is free. Jim Vragosi is free. George Burns is free. But they're not great. Rob, if you're here. Rob lost the game 20-5 to Hawaii. It was a one-off. Here we go. Because he used to play for my Red Bolts, and I picked him. No, he didn't play for Red Bolt. He played for the Red Bolts in which game was it? In this Shanks 1. And I knew I had made a mistake. I based it on his war stats for the season he came from. So I put all my hopes on it as a Hall of Fame pick. And he was rubbish. It was absolutely terrible. So I'm thinking, no, he's not that good. And actually, the more I realised that Cy Young isn't, although he's got all these wins, it doesn't necessarily make him a great pitcher. It's only a great pitcher in actually 3 seasons of all those many seasons. And that's what I realised, he's possibly overrated. You could say the same for Whitey Ford as well, and other pitchers. But that one, that's why I don't like. It's not that everyone doesn't like him. I don't like him. Which is why I want to see him again today. So if you want him to play him, this is actually the Cy Young you've got. It's actually the Cy Young's second best season. So, yeah. So which one do you want, Rob? Do you want to pitch him or leave him? Because Clue's actually here, so both of you are here, so it's great. You can play this one. Your first baseman's Todd Helton. You can play him if you want, but it's telling you it's an injury, so the AI will probably choose someone else. Like, this is what the AI is saying, generally, for your first baseman will be Burns. Your selection would be that, minus the first baseman, because he's injured. Burns it is. So the computer was right. Burns. If you want to change him in the lineup, tell me, and I'll move him around. I'm about 10 seconds ahead of you. So the computer was right. Speaking says, on this day, he'd like to see Cy Young lose also. So Cy Young's reputation is on the line today. I'm actually 15 seconds ahead. I just heard my own voice. Burns at first. Yep, got that. Cy Young's reputation on the line today. 10 seconds ahead. I'm actually 15 seconds ahead. I just heard my own voice. Okay, you ready to play? Just say yes, Rob, and I'm good to go. If you're happy, you sure you want Andrew Jones still going out there? Let me know. I'll wait 10 more seconds. If you're happy, you sure you want Andrew Jones still going out there? Yeah, Clue, he does. He's got great fielding, is what Rob's team does. Start Appiah. Oh, wow. Kevin Appiah, one of the unsung heroes of 1980s or 90s baseball, is pitching. Not catching. Clue. While he's doing that, I can always switch back to him. What about you, Clue? There's your computer lineup. Your third baseman is recovered, Sid Gordon. And just so you know, Rob, remember you're playing a lefty lineup, which is right. You've got so many righties, it's perfect. So, if you're all ready, let's get the ball game started. I'm going to count to 10 one more time. And I will put my voice on so you can hear it. Thank you very much, crew. Thank you very much. Here we go. Oh. Welcome, everyone. We are in Wrigley Field, where the Des Moines Demons take on the Jersey Blue Claws. Jersey still 2 games back of Detroit. They've closed the gap only by 1 or 2 games over the past month. Des Moines not completely out of it, but nearly. But they're still close to 500. There's a whole group of teams that are there. And Kevin Appier is the starting pitcher for Des Moines. I haven't seen Appier on yet, so let's have a look at the defense. Shop behind the plate, Burns at first, Gritch at second, Renteria at short. At left, third baseman, replacing Harlan Clift, it looks like, who's injured. No, Clift is DH. Bill Bradley. Left field is Frank Robinson. Center field, the light-hitting Andrew Jones. Right field, Giancarlo Stanton, who's got 29 home runs on this season. And on the mound, Kevin Appier, hidden talent of that era of the 1980s. Stepping up is the human single guy, Ichiro Suzuki. I'll say single guy. The man is a walking single. He's actually a walking double as of late. So here's Ichiro at the plate. The right fielder batting .321. Carl Hubble will take the mound for Jersey. Winds today 13 miles per hour out to right field. Light rain is predicted. 78 degrees here in Wrigley. Suzuki steps in. Here's the 1-2. High chopper towards first and second. Gritch has it. Over to Burns, 1 away. Brings up Chase Utley, batting .299 on the season. He's at .245 in August. Here's the 0-2. Grounder up the middle. Nice play by Gritch to his right. Over to Burns. Got him 2 away. Appier has been a late call-up to the team last month. Getting his first start as Ed Delahanty comes in. .310 average on the season. 12 home runs, 65 ribbies. Here's the 0-2. Deep fly to left field. And Robinson pouches it in left field, and that is it. So 1, 2, 3, they come up and they go down. No runs, no hits, and no errors. After 1/2 inning, Jersey nothing, Detroit. So Des Moines coming to bat. Here's my favorite player, the captain, Harlan Clift. I think he's the captain. From the right-hand side, he's been DH today, batting .288 with 15 home runs and 63 ribbies. Hubble with the 0-2, and Carl Hubble strikes him out with a fastball. Not what Clift was looking for on the mound. Carl Hubble with that screwball. Let's take a look at who's in the field. Ed Bailey continues to platoon with Buster Posey. Now it's his turn. First base is Norm Cash, just beginning to cool off just a bit. Second base, a man who should be in the Hall of Fame soon, Chase Utley. At second, one of the players I've gotten to really enjoy watching in this league for his fielding, Willie the Devil Wells. At third, one of the galaxy of third basemen, including pitcher John Clarkson, is Sid Gordon. Bit of an injury crisis for the Blue Claws at third, when he saw John Clarkson play a couple of games in a winning streak. Left field, Ed Delahanty, who has picked his average up from a very slow start, batting .309. In center field, Dale Murphy, the Atlanta Brave borderline Hall of Famer, the Hall of Very Good's first inductee, one of the key inductees of that. And just being reminded that the captain, a shout from the dugout from manager Big Clue, that Chase Utley is the captain of the Blue Claws. And in right field, Ichiro, the walking single, Suzuki, 10 and a 10 arm. Ichiro, one of the big stars. And at first base, I said Norm Cash. So, here we go. Here is Mr. Clutch himself, Edgar Renteria, at the plate. Batting .290 on the year, 13 home runs and 53 ribbies. Frank Robinson on deck. Here's the 1-2 offering, and that's hit to center field. And Dale Murphy, an outstanding center fielder, drifts back, and that's 1 away. 2 away. Brings up Frank Robinson. Now, I expected a little more fireworks from Frank Robinson. But here he is, left fielder, batting .280, 17 home runs, 87 ribbies. Hubble looks in, gets his sign from Bailey. Here's the 1-1. And Robinson hits a deep fly ball in center field. And Murphy makes it look so easy. Step back a couple of steps, close his glove on it, and that is the end of the one inning. 1 inning gone. Nothing across. Jersey nothing, Des Moines nothing. Here's Apier looking in, gets his sign from Shock. Here's Cash at the plate. He leads off, batting only .269 in August. Here's the 3-1. Low and outside from Apier. That's the first walk of the ball game. Cash, not a threat to steal, has been held by George Burns. Here's Sid Gordon. He's .250 against righties. Runner on first. Here's the 1-0. Grounded hard to Renteria. He's over to Gritch. Gritch to Burns. Double play. This is what I like about the Demons. They got great play around the field. Renteria to Gritch to Burns. So, 2 out. Top of the second. In steps Willie the Devil Wells. Having a good season. 9th in the league with batting average. 24 home runs. 97 ribbies. Here's the 2-0 from Apier. Curveball grounded to second. Gritch over to his left, over to Burns. And that is out. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 1.5 inning, Jersey nothing, Des Moines nothing. And we have both skippers in the ballpark today, as it should be. On the mound, Carl Hubble, looking very graceful out there with his screwball in his back pocket somewhere. We're going to see this screwball. And upstairs, Giancarlo Stanton, 11-game hitting streak for the right-hand side. Hubble toes the rubber. Here's the 1-2. Swung and missed it. So missed there by Stanton. Big swing. And he'll sit down. Second strikeout for Hubble. Stepping in now, George Burns, the first baseman. He's batting .270 on the year, 3 home runs and 20 ribbies. Got a big .462 average against Jersey. Here's the 0-2. Burns swings. Popped up to Sid Gordon, and Gordon bobbles it, and he dropped it, but he got it. Oh, my. Wow. A sigh of relief from Sid Gordon, a big grin on his face. He had it. He dropped it. He had it. He dropped it. And he's out. Upstairs now, Bill Bradley. I'm sure that's the name of a basketball player somewhere in the NBA history. He steps up now. He is the third baseman today. Bradley facing Hubble. Here's a 3-2. Change up. Deep fly ball to center field. Murphy's going back, and he has it. No runs, no hits, no errors after 2 innings. Jersey, nothing. Des Moines, nothing. Stepping in now is Ed Bailey. There's something about this game that feels very special already. Is it because Apier's on the mound and he's like the hidden weapon of the Demons? Let's see. Bailey platooning with Buster Posey, who's tearing up the league. He's having a decent season. Bailey will bat first. 1 ball, no strikes. Deep fly ball to right field. This one's a go. This one might go. It is gone. Home run number 17 for Ed Bailey in this devastating platoon with Buster Posey. These guys have put in maybe, man, I don't even know, 40 home runs as catching. Awesome. 1-0 Jersey. At the plate, the DH, Monty Irvin. Murphy on deck on the on-deck circle. Here's the 1-2. Deep fly ball to center field. Jones going back to the wall for catch number 1. Well played by Andrew Jones. Such a great fielder in center field. Apier looks in. Murphy is ready as he digs in. He's batting .279 in August. Here's the 0-2. Inside corner. Apier pulls the string on that one. 2 out. Actually, it was a fastball. Ichiro Suzuki steps in. He grounded to second in the first. He steps in. He's ready. He's on deck. Here's the 0-2. Change up. And a rope between first and second. And Gritch has it. And that is that. 1 run stud score on 1 hit. No errors after 2.5. Jersey 1. Des Moines nothing. Andrew Jones steps in. Very light hitting Andrew Jones. Center fielder. Batting .178, 20 home runs and 63 RBIs. Not a good average, but good power. Here's a 2-1 from Hubble, and he hits Andrew Jones, and Hubble let that one get away from him. He's shaking his head. Jones doesn't look at Hubble as he jumps down to first. Surprisingly, Andrew Jones not a threat to steal. Bobby Gritch steps in. He's been struggling well all year at the plate. He's batting .213 in August. Shock on deck. Runner on first. Gritch squares the bunt. Bunting towards first. Cash charges it. Fields it. Cash will tag Gritch for the out. And Jones will move to second. So still 1 out here for Des Moines. Shock steps in. Batting only .167. Overmatched in this league. Hubble gets a sign. Clift on deck. Runner on second. 2-2 from the count. And a strikeout from Hubble. 85 miles per hour fastball. 85 rated fastball. Struck him out. That's my hero for this team. Harlan Clift. Sounds like Montgomery Clift, the actor, doesn't it? Hitting .257 in August. Here's the first pitch. Deep fly ball to right center field. But Suzuki covers enough ground. So no runs, no hits, no errors for Des Moines after 3. Jersey 1, Des Moines nothing. Tight ball game, good pitching. Apier, maybe he should have been pitched earlier on in the season. Stepping in, left-hand hitter Chase Utley, the second baseman. 3-2 count, fly ball to right center field, and Stanton has it, and that's 1 away. Stepping in from the right-hand side, left fielder, Ed Delahanty. He's 0 for 1. Here's the first offer from Apier, and that's raked to right field. Stanton has it. And Ed, who has really come on strong in the season, is on first. Delahanty a threat to steal. As Norm Cash steps up to the plate. Cash walked in a second. Runner on first. Apier stays in. First split to Cash. Shock down to second. Renteria with the tag on Delahanty, but Delahanty is safe. So Delahanty in scoring position. Cash backs out of the box. Looks around. He's ready. Steps back in. Apier cool on the mound. Tugs at his cap. He's ready. Looks over to second. And now they've decided they won't pitch to Cash. We've seen that before. So Cash will go down to first. Delahanty at second. Cash at first. Sid Gordon steps in. Runs on first and second. Apier looks at the runners. Here's the 3-2. And that's lashed out of here. That's gone. Wow. Driven deep and far. Sid Gordon caught that one as soon as he left the bat. 387 feet for his 11th home run. And Apier shakes his head. That one was hit with such power. 4-0 Jersey. Stepping in now from the right-hand side, the shortstop, Willie Wells. Wells 0 for 1. Apier is ready. Here's the 1-1. Curveball, and that's driven out to right field. Stanton will have it. And he's waiting for it, and he has it. And Wells is retired. 2 out. Ed Bailey coming in from the left-hand side. He's the catcher. He's 1 for 1 today. Hit a solo home run last time up. Apier narrows his eyes, and here's the 3-2. That one's hit deep again. Stanton and Jones go after it, and Jones has it just inside the ivy, just before the ivy. 3 runs hit, 3 runs, 2 hits, no errors. After 3.5, Jersey 4, Des Moines nothing. Stepping in, Edgar Renteria. That's .355 against lefties. Here's the 1-2 from Hubble. A ground ball, base hit between first and second. Base hit for Renteria. Again, every time I see Des Moines play, which is a lot, they seem to just, Renteria particularly, just seems to hit. I think he bats about 700 on my channel. Here's Frank Robinson from the left-hand side, from the right-hand side. Runner on first, Renteria threat to steal. Hubble checks the runner at first. Here is the pitch. And a steal for Renteria. So Bailey could not release it quick enough. And Renteria is safe at second. Here's Robinson. I expected Frank Robinson to tear up the league. Hasn't done badly, but he hasn't done the way we expected. I think his playing at Wrigley Field affects his hitting. Power numbers. Runner on second. Here's the 1-0 from Hubble. Fastball. Robinson hits a fly ball to right center. Suzuki has it. Renteria's going to tag up and take on Suzuki's arm. And what a foolish move that was by Renteria to take on Suzuki. Ichiro guns him down from right field. What a way to run yourself out of an inning. Bonehead play from Edgar Renteria, if I say so myself. Stepping in with such power coming up is Giancarlo Stanton with an 11-game hitting streak. Here he goes. There's the 0-1. Easy hop to Gordon. And Gordon boots it for the second. Well, he didn't make an error last time. This time he does boot it. And Stanton is safe. Makes Renteria shake his head in the dugout. He's probably still trying to figure out how the hell did Suzuki gun him down. Stepping in, Ed Burns. George Burns. Ed Bailey sitting down talking to him. First offering to Burns, and that's hit straight at Willie Wells. And no runs, 1 hit, and 1 error in that inning. And I think Des Moines would regret that one. Still 4-0. After 4 complete, Jersey 4, Des Moines nothing. Apier on the mound, pitched strong so far, Kevin Apier. Pitched 4 innings, given up 3 hits, 2 home runs though, 2 walks, and a strikeout. Apier looks in, Monty Irvin at the plate. Murphy on deck. Here's the 1-2, and Dale Murphy with a base hit to left field. Sorry, Monty Irvin with a base hit to left field. I was thinking of Cy Young as I said that, because Cy Young was meant to be the original starter, and I was looking for him to join in this Coliseum, expecting him to be eaten by the Lions, as in the figurative Lions, not the Jersey Blue Claws. And he was stretched at the last minute, much to my disappointment. I'd have loved to see Cy Young out there prove me wrong, but he's proven me right so far. And Rob decided to bring in Kevin Apier, who I do rate very highly. Here's Dale Murphy, 0 for 1, runner on first, top here of the 5th inning. Shock out to talk to Apier. Murphy faces Apier, runner on first. Apier checks the runner. Apier with the first pitch to Murphy. There goes the runner. Shock fires down, and Monty Irvin is safe. Monty Irvin with only his 6th steal of the season. I expected a bit more from him. There's Dale Murphy. Runner on second. Here's the 0-1. Here's the pitch. Change up. Weak fly ball to left center field, and Andrew Jones has it. And Dale Murphy's out of there. Brings up Ichiro Suzuki. Batting .262. Utley waiting to hit. Here's the runner on second. Here's the 0-1. Way outside, way wild pitch, and Monty Irvin will get down to third. So Apier just having a bit of a trouble hooking up with Ray Shock. Okay, so 1-1 is the strike on Suzuki. They won't pitch now to Suzuki. Decide to move him on to first to get to Chase Utley. Utley is grounded out to second last time, flying out to center field last time up. He's 0 for 2. 267 with runners in position. Delahanty on deck. Ben on first and third. Apier toes the rubber, shakes that one off. Got one he likes. Here's the 2-0. And that one's hit a fly ball to center field. And Andrew Jones has it. Irving will tag up and he will score. 5-0 Jersey. There we go. Ed Delahanty steps in from the right-hand side. Runner on first. Delahanty singled last time up. First pitch to Delahanty. Shock. Suzuki's going. And Shock can't gun him down. They got the running game going on Ray Shock. He's got an arm of only 6. Still number 50 for Ichiro. That 1-2 punch of Ichiro and Delahanty at work. Man on second. Apier checks the runner. Wow, pitch again, and it's falling apart for Apier here. The wheels are beginning to come up. One more run and automatically AI should take him out. And Delahanty down to first and Suzuki on at third. I'm not seeing any pink hands of distress just yet. Norm Cash steps in, batting .335, 20 home runs. Remember, I am 15 seconds ahead, so think 15 seconds in advance when it comes to tactics. Delahanty, 37 steals on the season. What a turnaround for Ed Delahanty. Delahanty started off, I was beginning to worry that this was a bust. But why would I think such nonsense? In May, he batted only .222. In June, he batted .255. But in July, he is heating up, baby. .382 and then .390 in August. Amazing. That's Ed Delahanty warming up. Here we are. Long Cash at the plate. And Delahanty will go into second without a throw. So they really have messed up the signs with Shock and Apier. They just cannot hook up. Delahanty was still number 38. And the Jersey team are very aggressive with the base stealing. Jersey, a popular feature on my channel. I've never seen them run like this before. Here's Norm Cash, one of the candidates for MVP of the season. Cash has walked twice in this ballgame. Here's the 0-1, and again, they won't pitch to Cash. So this is an interesting strategy here from the Demons. They won't walk Cash. They walk Cash. Seen that quite a few times today. And in steps Sid Gordon, 1 for 2. Last time up, I'm sure he hit a home run. He hit a 3-run Taylor. Now, bases are loaded. The mustard and the rye bread are parked on the kitchen table. A grand salami beckons. Gordon steps in. He's ready. Apier on his debut, not looking so good. Yeah, and I can see now in the bullpen, David Cone warming up. There's the 1-2. 1-2, bases loaded. It gets away from Shock again. Pass ball. Oh my. Shock and Apier single-handedly wrecking the performance. And that's another run given him. That's not an earned run. I will just wait for Rob, because Rob is up and not looking best happy here. We know David Cone, so let's just see. One more run bringing David Cone. That's the instruction. And here it is. David Cone now trops in, former Kansas City Royal, before he made his name with the New York Mets. And then went on to become a Yankee legend as well. So yeah, David Cone now in, and thank you very much, Rob, for being 15 seconds ahead. Clue, if you'll also do the same. Thinking 15 seconds ahead, that would be great. 15 to 20 seconds ahead. Any change makes it so much more in sync. I don't understand sometimes, because sometimes I can be right on sync, definitely with my YouTube, PS5 the other day, and then for some reason always be a bit behind, or a bit ahead. Really strange. Anyway, So, Cole has finished his warm-up pitches. Said Gordon at the plate. It was a wild one today from Shock, and Apia just could not hook up. There's a 2-2. Change up. And a shallow fly ball to left center field. And Frank has it. So, good move. Bit too late. End of the inning. 2 runs, 1 hit, no errors after 4.5. Jersey 6, Des Moines nothing. Hello, Dwayne Martz, YouTube Network. How are you? Howdy. Welcome. A little early morning baseball for you if you are in North America. If you're in Europe, it is lunchtime after lunch. Everyone looking at their clocks, getting ready to leave for the afternoon skive, as we call it here in the UK, and get away early. If you're at home, you can pretend to be doing some work, but tune in and watch the baseball. Bill Bradley at the plate now, batting .283. Here's a 2-2. Struck him out. Hubble gets the punch out. Welcome in, Dwayne Martz. Saw you yesterday, I think, on another channel. It was Beatles channel. But just another Howie Shanks game. We've spread this league along. We're now in August. Hubble on the mound, and Andrew Jones comes in, batting a paltry 178. Does have power and is a great fielder. Hubble looks in, gets the sign. Jones even worse against lefties. Here's a 2-0, and that's a smack to left field. Base hit for Andrew Jones. 9:30 in the morning in Maryland. Good morning, Maryland. We have a very famous biscuits over here in the UK called Maryland Cookies. I'm not sure if Maryland's famous for cookies, but they're very big over here, the brand. Maryland Cookies. Chocolate chip, all kinds. Here's Bobby Grich, batting .217, 8 home runs, 43 RBIs. Grich against Hubble, man on first. Hubble with the 1-1, ground ball up the middle. Up comes Wells with it, over the cash, got him. Willie the Devil Wells, one of the great Negro Leaguers, along with Pop Lloyd, considered to be the greatest shortstop of the Negro League era, and possibly of all time, although people who's great support of Archie Vaughan and Honus Wagner would dispute that. Willie Wells has been superb in this league. Up steps Ray Shock, whose radar has been off all day long with Kevin Apia. Apia's now gone into the bullpen. It's in the dugout. Maybe Shock was having the problem with Apia, but either one of them, the radar was off. Here's Hubble. Here's the 0-2. Runner on second. Shock cuts it. Well hit grounder. Wells up with it. Oh, and a cash. Got him. And that's the end of the 5th inning. Jersey 6, Des Moines nothing. So, yes, well, thank you very much for those crab cakes, because I love a crab cake. An Old Bay Spice. Oh, I need to taste that one. I haven't been stateside for 10 years, actually. I'm due this year. And I said to Beatles one day, I'd love to meet everybody. You never know. I mean, it's a long shot, isn't it? But you never know. It does happen. And one of the things I'd love to do is go to the Baseball Hall of Fame. It's one of my bucket lists. I've been very fortunate to do most of my bucket list so far. I'm not tempting fate, but I'd love to do it soon. I'm probably out of season where it's cheaper. But I have to get a flight from London or Cardiff, which is where I live. Go to Connecticut, is it? Or go to JFK, then go to Connecticut, and then take a train to Cooperstown. I'm still trying to figure it out. But I desperately want to go, and I'm definitely going this year. Here's Willie Wells, 0-2. Cone with a pitch, and a deep fly ball to center field. Jones going back. But he has it for his 6th put out of the game. Andrew Jones been a busy boy down there today. That's one away. Here's Ed Bailey, power man. 1 for 2 today. He had a solo home run in the 3rd. Cone, good in relief. Should carry it home from here. Line drive, base hit between 1st and 2nd. So Bailey on yet again. This powerhouse platoon tandem with Buster Posey continues to rake. Cone on the season is 4-1 with a 2.92 ERA, one of the best ERAs. Maybe he should be in the rotation, who knows? Stepping in now for the right-hand side, the DH, Monty Irvin. Irvin number 1 for 2 today. Runner on first. Here's the 0-2. He rips a fly ball to center field. This one is going back. Gone! Andrew Jones could only watch that one leave here 384 feet. Wow. Monty Irvin, he doesn't normally play. This is the Negro League version of Monty Irvin. A deep fly ball ripped to center field. Just as I was saying, David Cone should take this home. Thank you, Rob. So when Shock is up, please be, and also Rob, if you want, after the ball game, you can possibly look at. I mean, this is just me, and I shouldn't be talking about your team, but as I have control of the master file, you could look at your roster because my personal feeling, you've got a great side. It's just you've got defense over offense in one area, and that's Shock. And I think you've got better players that could play there. But also Andrew Jones is great defensively, but he seems to be just not hitting. The rest of the guys are superb, absolutely superb. But I'll let you adjust it if you want. It makes it so much easier for you. So you're saying when Shock is up to the plate, please PH. Yeah, we'll do. Here's Dale Murphy, 0 for 2. Swing and a miss. Cone gets a strikeout. Here's Ichiro, 0 for 2. Here's the 2-2. Hammered between first and second. Base hit again for Ichiro, who continues to do well on my channel for some strange reason. Here's Chase Utley, 0 for 2. 2 out. Delahanty up next. Runner on first. Cone checks the runner. Here's the 0-1. High chopper back up the middle. Grinch attacks it. Again, moves his right. Over to Burns. Got him. Nice play by Bobby Grinch. So, 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors after 5.5. Jersey 8, Des Moines nothing. As Dwayne Mark says, Murphy should be in the Hall of Fame. I think he's borderline. But he's great. For those in the 80s, he's probably the best center fielder, barring Ricky Henderson, who played center field sometimes of the 80s, mostly left field. Yeah, I'd say he's got a great case, but he's not there. Here's Harlan Clift, batting 0 for 2. Stepping in from the right-hand side. I like Harlan Clift. He's hitting 255 in August. Renteria on deck. Harbaugh gets a sign from Bailey. Here's the 0-2. A cutter swung on. Grounded to Utley. Utley fields it over the Cash. Got him 1 away. Now, the question was, race Shock. When Shock comes up, replace him. So I will do it for you, Rob. I missed the last one, but I'll do it in the next one. I'm about 15 to 20 seconds ahead. So I'll keep looking at the chat. Edgar steps in now, batting 290, 13 home runs, 53 ribbies. He's 1 for 2 today. Grounded to Willie Wells at first, at short. Wells over the first, and they got him. Wells had to hurry that, as Renteria has some wheels, but they got him. 2 out. Here's Frank Robinson. As a lot of people, I'm just looking around the pitch. Chase Utley, I think, should be in the Hall of Fame. But I think he's only due now, right? Am I right in saying so? Because when I've watched people in this league who are doing exceptionally well, you think, are they in the Hall of Fame? And Chase Utley, I think he's not eligible, but when he is, he should do. This version of Chase Utley that we're playing with, he's outstanding. And I'm thinking, well, he's not in the Hall of Fame. He should be. In terms of Hall of Famers on the field, Delahanty is. I think Willie Wells is. Hubble obviously is. Is Cash in the Hall of Fame? I'm not sure. Suzuki will be. Here is the pitch, the 2-2 to Frank. Hubble set. Here's a 2-2. Ground ball to Wells. Wells up in the air over the Cash. Got him. There's a flashy play from Willie Wells. And that is the end of the inning. After 6, Jersey 8. Des Moines nothing. Des Moines a fundamentally good defensive team with some good pitchers. The offense is just struggling because Hubble's only given up 2 hits. David Cone out there. So Dwayne Mark says, what I do not like, if they say you're a bad person that hurts you or getting in the Hall of Fame, but you're a good person, it does not help you. Yeah, I suppose you could look at that. Well, as you mean, I'm just thinking about what that means is, what I do not like to say, if you're a bad person, it hurts you. Yeah, I think some people say if you're a bad person, get to the Hall of Fame. I think it's wrong. I think this is just my take as a Brit who's loved baseball for 30, 40 years. I think there are players in the Hall of Fame that shouldn't be there. We all know that. They were of their time when they were elected. Some of those say from, say, 50 years ago, 50, 60, 70 years ago. And their own cronies were on the Hall of Fame election committee or whatever it's called. I think there are people like Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens who are deemed to have done something wrong when it wasn't even illegal. I don't understand that. Is it because the law got involved and the FBI got involved? I don't know. But how can you... this is just my take. I could be completely ignorant on this. I cannot understand how players who did take, of course they took, when it was legal, this can be held against them. And also, in the case of Mark Maguire, who I think will get in, I do think he'll get in, Sammy Sosa, who stayed mute, they brought people back to baseball. To me, and again, I'm being completely novice on baseball, in 1994 is when I stopped watching baseball. As a guy that used to follow it since I was, 10? I was in my early 20s in 1994. I stopped watching it. I was so sickened by the whole thing. I didn't actually start watching baseball again properly until a year ago when I met Beatles Eternally on his channel. I've told him a million times. He was the one that brought me back. And of course, hearing all the opinions on his channel, which I thought were amazing. You know, to see all the vast array of characters in there, I learned so much. So it'll be lovely to hear Dwayne Watts. Yeah, should those steroid users be in there? Because they're deemed to be, persona non grata. I don't see how that could still be the case. Anyway, Cohen on the mound, Delahanty at the plate, batting 3-11. Here's the 2-2, deep fly ball down the right field line. Stanton over there, and that's a fly out. And Stanton under there, and that's 1 away. Brings up, yes, as Dwayne says, me either, and baseball liked it when it was happening. Yeah, they did. Like I said, they brought people back to the game. Yeah, I mean, I didn't come back at the time. I appreciated the home run race. I remember watching or reading USA Today. I think Big Clue was doing the same when he was abroad, and picking up that story, but not still investing, even though we had access to baseball in the UK. We still had a channel. I think it was in the late 90s in the UK, we actually had a channel 4 or channel 5 over here, which did American sports, with a guy called Joe Morgan, Joe Morgan, the ex-Red, and is it John Miller? They should do a ESPN baseball, I think it was. So we had it over here on a Sunday. I'd pick it up, and I'd watch that. But only sporadically, and that was only really to see the players from the 80s in the last dying embers of their career. I remember Dwight Gooden playing for Cleveland. I loved Dwight Gooden. I remember seeing a lot of those 90s, 80s guys coming to the end. That's the only reason I watched it. Because they're just so disenchanted with baseball at that time. And mostly, that's kind of when the steroid argument was beginning to start. And I'm like, really? And then to see the hypocrisy of Bud Selig, whose own Milwaukee Brewers would have benefited, who, as commissioner, unless I'm wrong, saw the league flourish, then to tarnish these guys, I'm not saying they're right either, but to ban them infinitum or without some sort of window just seem a bit silly. Yeah, and Rob, Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame. I think so too. I think the reason why Pete Rose isn't, it's not because he done wrong. We know he done wrong. He's admitted it. I think it's because Bart Giamatti, who was the commissioner at the time, I remember this, died not long after the decision was taken to ban him. And I think Bart Giamatti died because of, obviously, he had a heart attack. God bless him. I think the stress of doing that probably finished the poor guy off. And I think there's a collective guilt by baseball officialdom about that. That how can they bring Pete back? It will be sort of disrespecting the Giamatti family. Maybe I'm speaking out of turn and I'm wrong, I don't know. But that's what I think. I generally think that. I love Pete Rose and what he's done for baseball. So, okay, he bet on a few games. Let's be honest here. You know, how many of those baseball players bet on caught games and weren't caught? I reckon a whole shed load of Hall of Famers. I'm sure, after I read something what Willie Mays said, he admitted this. Willie Mays, the great Willie Mays, who I love very much, said, or as a player, said they were all taking greenies in the 60s. I don't know what greenies are, but aren't greenies some sort of pep thing? What's the difference? Yeah, anyway, get back to baseball and David Cohn and Norm Cash. Thanks there for very much. That's really get me to express myself. Here's Norm Cash batting .335, 20 home runs, 93 RBIs. Norm Cash having a great season. Not necessarily a great game. But he's been walked 3 times. Let's see what Cone does with him here. There's the 1-1 and Cash down the line. Hits it foul. 1-2 to count. Cone looks in. Sharp gives him the sign. And Cash over to Gritch. It grounds into Bobby Gritch at second. Gritch throws a little too high to Burns, who leaps and can't get it. An error from Bobby Gritch. He's only the 17th for the year, but it's another error. Yeah, speed pills. That's what greenies are. Some of my red bolts could do with that. Here's at the plate Sid Gordon. Gordon had a 3-run homer in the 4th. He's 1 for 3. Cone doing his job, just slowing down the runs as Rob says, play ball. Cone with the 0-2, and Cone gets his strikeout there. David Cone, very good in this ballgame. Very good in the league. Just needs an opportunity, I think. 2 out. That brings up Willie the Devil Wells, who is 0 for 3. Wells steps in, nothing for 3. Bailey up next if he gets on. Runner on first. Here's the 1-2. And Wells with a deep fly ball to left center field. And Frank Robinson gets it. A nice leaping play from Frank Robinson. So no runs, no hits, 1 error. We're back. Here we go. Carl Hubbell's still on the mound. Carl Hubbell has pitched. He's pitched a good game. 6 innings, only 2 hits, 4 strikeouts. Looking very good today, Carl. Giancarlo Stanton comes in. He's riding an 11-game hitting streak. Struck out in the 2nd, grounded the 3rd and the 4th. Stanton trying to get something going here. Here's the 1-0 from Hubbell. And a line drive to left field, base hit for Giancarlo. So he gets it. This is his 12th game hitting in a row. Nice play, Giancarlo. There's George Burns now. Runner on first. Here's the 0-2 from Hubbell. Paints the outside corner and fools him. Burns fooled by that pitch by Hubbell. That's a 5th strikeout for Carl. As a big clue chips in. My theory, which explains that phenomenon, is that baseball writers are bad at player evaluation. I totally agree, Big Clue. I totally agree. No votes for bad guys are more easily justified by their narrative than no votes for others. Yeah, absolutely. And I also think it's the bloody writers' fault. They mess things. I'm not saying they're not great for baseball. Of course they are. There's so many great ones and great broadcasters, etc., etc. But 1 or 2 have had a grudge. It's kind of like, I always remember the guy in American football, which we don't talk about in the family, but T.O. T.O. was clearly a Hall of Famer first ballot. But because of his shenanigans, and I get it, he's allegedly got character issues, then they excluded him 2 years in a row for what was obviously a first ballot Hall of Famer. So then you talk about character and think, okay, let's talk about character. So if we talk about character, which is what I suppose the gambling thing was all about, then how do you explain half of the Hall of Fame for being in there in the first place? Ty Cobb? Really? Well, Ty Cobb deserves to be there on his play, not his character. So then how are you now going to go against people like whoever? I'm using Clemens, this comes to my mind first. Because he took a few pills which were legal. Or he took a few injections which were legal. Oh, because he lied and denied it. Let's go back and see if any of those Hall of Famers are wife beaters or whatever. Sorry to use that expression. Yeah? Or, gamblers or philanderers. You telling me there's not one amongst them? Of course there are. It's so hypocritical. But I love baseball. Part of the reason I love it, actually, is the controversy. What we're going to do? Strip Cap Anson of his Hall of Fame credentials because we've revealed later on. Or Tony Mullane, his ones, because of what they said or did in their day. No, of course not. It was in their time. It was a common sense has prevailed, and we haven't got rid of those guys. Why? Their thing was, their character was, for their time, was actually seemed to be normal. So I do find it hypocritical. But again, it's part of the reason I like baseball, is that we can have these discussions and arguments, and I love it for that. The same with soccer; it's very similar, or any sport really. But baseball, for some reason, does conjure up in me anyway some emotions that I don't have for the other sports, which I also love. But I just think the controversies are part of the game itself. How can people be against, say, the Houston Astros of 2017 and since, saying, "Oh, they cheated"? This is baseball. You're supposed to cheat. So that's just my opinion. Maybe I'm saying it the wrong way as a European, but I'm like, what do you mean you can't? They cheated. It's always happened. Anyway, I continue. Bradley at the plate. Get one man out here in the bottom of the seventh inning, and Jones on deck. We know that we're going to replace Shock, so just keep my mind on that one a little bit while I talk. 1-0 from Hubble, dribbler towards third. Gordon has it over to Cash, and they just get the runner. So Bradley thrown out from third by Sid Gordon, but standing on second. Here's Andrew Jones. Here we go. Jones steps against Hubble. He's only batting 179 on the year. Hubble looks in. Man on second. Hubble gets a sign from Bailey. Shakes that one off. Now he gets one he likes. Here's the 0-2. And Jones hits one down to third. Gordon picks it up over to first. Nice silky play by Sid Gordon. So Shock never got a chance to bat, Rob. Not a bad thing. And, yeah, as Big Clue says, as Dwayne loves, a sports Hall of Famer is about athletic performance, not about personal character. Well, it should be, but then again, let's have a look at it another way. What if you're running a big corporate business and you're looking to promote people to director position? Do you promote them on their performance or on their character? Think about that one for a second. I'll leave that in the chat. Because, I'll leave that in the chat for a moment, so I'll repeat it. Running a corporate business, you're the chief exec. What do? Do you promote people based on character, or do you promote people based on performance, i.e. what they bring profitability-wise to your company? And then that's what we've got to say about Major League Baseball. So, Big Clue says, never mind that character is highly subjective, I totally agree, between one voter or another. Let's see what the answer is to that question, I said. I'll just pose that one out there. Anyway, Ed Bailey comes in, 2 and 3 today, as he comes to the plate. And David Cohn's still out there, doing a good job. I know he gave up the home run, but Cohn is a good player. Bailey will start. Here's the 3-1 from Cohn. Curveball misses low, and Bailey will walk as the question still hangs in the air. When it comes to a business, like a corporate business or any business really, do you promote and hire people based on character or performance? Cohn looks in. Irvin 2 for 3. Murphy on deck. Man on first. Cohn keeps an eye on the runner at first. 1-2. The pitch to Irvin. He swings, bounces to third and short. And it's a base hit. Bailey to second, and he holds. So 2 men on for the Jersey Blue Claws here. As I see the chat wheeling around. As Dwayne March says, all you have to do for the display is tell the whole story of the good and the bad, but put them in. Exactly. Put them in. It's a fallacy. It's a farce. It's a comedy, if you don't. It's like, Diego Maradona, right? In soccer, we don't have a Hall of Fame per se in European football, but everyone would agree he would be, along with Pele and Alfredo Di Stefano, another great Argentinian player, and Leo Messi and Ronaldo and they used to call him the other Ronaldo, the Brazilian one, the original Ronaldo. Things are sure. George Best was a great player, a fantastic individual. Sadly, as an alcoholic, who it didn't stop him from being in the Hall of Fame. Diego Maradona used to be with the Naples Comora? What are they called? They're not called Mafia, but they're called Comora. I think they're called in Naples. Anyway, he was close friends. I mean, Diego's an amazing player, very well loved, including by my good self. He would make the Hall of Fame in any soccer Hall of Fame because he's just such a great player. Nice person too, I'd imagine, although very, very naughty. He took drugs. He was banned from a World Cup. I mean, he was banned from a World Cup, 1994 in USA. After 2 games, he was sent home. Right? The man has controversy followed him everywhere, even to his death. God bless him. But he would walk into the Hall of Fame. So I cannot understand it. I just can't understand it. And I bet you the same people making up all the rules and who should be in and who should. They've got things in their closet. I mean, come on. It's not the moral authority on life. Oh, because you put a few bets down, you shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. Slap them on the wrist, yes. Give them a delayed inclusion to the Hall of Fame, but don't exclude them from the sport when they've done so much for the sport. You know, it'd be like us buying a game of Action PC and Pete Rose is not in the database. You wouldn't accept it. Anyway, back back to the baseball. The 8th inning, Dale Murphy, who should be in the Hall of Fame, at the plate. Bailey on second, Irvin on first. David Cohn just waiting for the ball game to start again. Sighs, and he's ready. Here's the 2-2 to Murphy. Man on first and second. Here's the 2-2. Cutter swung at a bad pitch, and Murphy's out of there. And David Cohn now is looking tired, so we're going to go to the bullpen, and we're going to wait for Rob Tomlinson as I read out the rest. Pete Rose exclusion is more inexcusable than ever. With MLB being in bed with gambling interest for DraftKings. I totally agree with you. I couldn't agree with you more. And where's the next baseball team going? Las Vegas. Built by Bugsy Siegel, by the way. Heavily financed by the mob back in its time. You know, not saying that's nothing against Las Vegas. I think it's an amazing city. I've been there. I love it. I love the place. But walking down the strip, that's all you see is hotels. And, you know, I stayed in a hotel one. What's it called? The Venetian. Lovely hotel. Everywhere I went, they were following me, you know, trying to get me to bloody spend money on, you know, stuff. You know, it's just a hypocrisy. Just amazes me. That's a really good one, Clue. Really good one. Anyway, so, waiting for Rob Tomlinson. David Cohn is on 56. Red. So we're going to wait and see what Rob wants to do. It's rather a long broadcast. It's been fun, though, actually. You know, really get a chance to... I tend to watch what Beatles says and listen to what Beatles says because he's always got something to say about baseball. So, Rob, if you're there, let me know. So Big Clue says the whole dichotomy was created because you have journalists doing the... Yeah, absolutely. Totally agree. But then, Clue, on the flip side of the writers, you've also got players doing it now, which they rightly should. But then you get the cronyism. All I'll say to that is Harold Baines. With the greatest respect to Howard Baines. To Harold Baines, who I did like at the time, actually. I still have a little feeling for that one. The man was only a few hits short of 3,000. And that would have been an automatic Hall of Famer. And the only reason I still say is because he didn't have enough seasons. Even though he had a lot of seasons, that one season messed him up, the 94 season. Anyway, Rob, are you there? Are you still there, Rob? If you want to make the change, make the change. Are you bringing in a reliever? You should do, because obviously I'll make the change for you if you're not there. I'll give you another 10 seconds. Let's get this ball game over and done with. Nothing from Rob. So, what we'll do to finish it up, we'll bring in, I know this is a regular reliever of his, Von Gregg coming in. So Von Gregg comes in for Cone. I was waiting for you, Rob. I couldn't see you. Suzuki is in there. Utley up next. Runners on first and second. Here's the 0-2. Ground ball between third and short. Renteria has it over to Gritch. Gritch over to Burns. Double play. After 7.5, Jersey 8, Des Moines nothing. Stepping in now is Bobby Gritch. Grounded to second. Utley fills it over to Cash. Got him. And we know Shock's not going to play, so Shock coming out of there. Now then, who does he want to play for Ray Shock? It's going to be a catcher, I guess. Or let's put someone in. Let's try and win this game. We're going to put in. We're Ginger Beaumont. So Ginger Beaumont steps in. We'd always change the catcher afterwards. Ah, Peters, too late. I was waiting, Rob. I couldn't wait any longer. I did wait for a while. Remember, I'm ahead of you, so I can see you looking at my screen. Now, we put Peters in, but I've already moved on from that. Sorry, Rob. Anyway, Ginger Beaumont at the plate. You're behind. I did wait for you, Rob. And there's Beaumont will fly out to Murphy. And there's Clift. 0 for 3 today. Hubble with the 0-1. Screwball. Ground up the middle, Huntley to his right. Fields it over to Cash. Got him. So now we need a catcher in. And the catcher will be Boiler Yard Clark. Yeah. To pitch. Alright, gotcha. So Gary Peters in. Okay, so I'm waiting, Rob. You probably see I brought Peters in. I'll wait till the screen catches up with you. Right, so Peters is in there. That's good. You've caught up with me, it looks like. Great. It's only 10 seconds behind there. So, Peters on the mound. Beaumont goes to center field to replace Jones. So I had to do a little pinch hit there. Rip to middle to center field. And a base hit. Utley continues to destroy against Des Moines. Peters a great pitcher for the, I think Gary Peters played for the Chicago White Sox. As Ed Delahanty steps in. Cash up next. Runner on first. Peters checks first. Here's the 0-2. And a blooper to left field. And Robinson will collect it. And Utley will go to second. Delahanty at first. As we bring in Norm Cash now comes into play. Peters will look in. Runs at first and second. The first pitch from Peters. A deep fly ball to right center. Ginger Beaumont will only see this hit the wall. And another run will score. Utley scores. Delahanty scores. Ginger, not Andrew Jones, there, who was in to replace Jones with a bit more offense. Let that one just go over his head. Here's Sid Gordon, 1 for 4. Gordon steps in, Wells on deck, man on second. Here's the 0-1 from Peters. Ground up the middle. Gritch has it over to Burns. Got him. And that's 1 out. Score 10-0. Wells at the plate, 0 for 4 today. He hasn't cashed in at all. Wells at bat, runner on third. Peters toes the rubber. Here's the 2-1. Bloops up the middle, base hit, and Cash will score. So Peters struggling early. And Wells gets a base hit. He's got 28 steals on the season. Ed Bailey at the plate, 2 for 3 today. Peters looks in. Runner on first. Peters has a sign. Here's the 2-0. Fastball. Fly ball to right center field. Beaumont going back. He has it. He makes the catch. Wells will hold it first. 2 out. Jersey just looking to pad their lead. Monty Irvin at the plate. Murphy's on deck if he gets a man on first. Peters with the first pitch. Shallow fly ball down the left field line. And a great play by Frank Robinson in left field to hold that one in. And that's the end of the innings. But 3 more runs score, 4 hits. And no errors, as Rob says, it's 3-0 down, 8-0 down. Let's just end the misery. I totally agree. Last of the inning, Edgar Renteria steps up unless there's a big comeback. Hubble looking for the complete game. Here's the 3-2 to Renteria. Low and inside, and that's giving up a walk. And Renteria will go to first. I'll speed this up. Frank Robinson comes to the plate. He's 0 for 3. Hubble looks to first. Here's the 3-1. Robinson swings fly ball to center field. Dale Murphy will drift in and make the catch. One away. Here's Stanton. So later on, I'm going to be doing something else. 1-2. Struck him out. Hubble strikes out George Burns. Clue if you're still there, and Rob, if you're still there, did a little bit of MLB The Show as well, showing Beatles some stuff. I've got loads of rosters, which I've now given to Beatles has now got, showing them how to do it. As well as we've been inspiring each other, but also it comes from sports. Legends is the one who's inspired us on the MLB The Show. I've had the game for years and years and years. Anyway, I was going to do a little bit of a Howie Shanks thing on there anyway, because I want to just see how it does the draft. I've got all the players. This is using MLB The Show 21. I've got a file from a guy called Dalminator1. So Dalminator1, this is for you. The great work you've done on that database. Here we go. Here's George Burns. Hubble looks in. Runner on first. First pitch to Burns. A blooper to third. And Sid Gordon plucks it out of the air. Right to Sid Gordon. That's the end of the inning. And Rob is out of his misery. Jersey 11. And that's Big Clue. He'll be happy with that one. Closing on Detroit. Des Moines, nothing. There's a scorecard. I thoroughly enjoyed that game. A bit longer than normal because I was chatting away with the chat. That's what it's there for. Monty Irvin, 3 for 5 with 2 ribbies. Ed Bailey with his tremendous platooning with Buster Posey, 2 for 4. Ed Delahanty is riding high, 2 for 4. Carl Hubble goes to 15 and 8, looking very cool in that photo by Steve Tate. And Kevin Appier, his first appearance, sadly for him, didn't go as well as he wanted. Gave up a few, but gave up 6 earned runs on 4 hits. But there was a time in this ballgame where his radar and Ray Schalk, they were just off-piste all game. Wild pitches everywhere. 2 from Appier and 1 pass ball from Schalk. The player of the game was Carl Hubble. Look at how Hubble stats. Hubble went 9 innings, gave up only 3 hits, no earned runs, and a magnificent performance. Had 6 strikeouts and only 1 walk. That might be one of the best pitching performances I've seen for a while in this League of All-Stars. Cone, not the worst, 2 and 2. So, Rob, we can have a look at your team. If you want, Clue can have a look at your team. You know, I can slow the league down a little bit because I'm over the weekend. I can do more rather than just going a week at a time. Just do a couple of days at a time because it's the weekend. I can do a bit more. But here we are. Here is the league. Just make sure I've got all those games played, scheduled league games. Oh, I haven't. Des Moines. Mudville and Detroit. You want Detroit to lose? And Detroit have lost. Pete Alexander takes it away from Brett Saberhagen's in a bit of a slump. 10 and 13 goes Saberhagen. And Grover Pete goes 9 innings and 15 hits. Gave up 6 runs, but there we are. The Bambino still coming through with home runs. David Johnson, 3 for 4. Case. So just looking at this for Beatles Eternalities team. Take care, Rob. Lovely to have you in here. Take care. Catch you soon, man. That's that. So Manchester, Hawaii. Please, Manchester. Please. Oh, for goodness sake. Lost to Lawrence's Hawaii, 3-2. As I look to speed up my come to the end of this broadcast soon. Lincecum with a win, 12 and 6. Dihigo with the loss. Only came up 3 earned runs though, Dihigo. So it wasn't a shellacking or anything. And Badlands at Cleveland. Cleveland dropped to Badlands. And Cleveland. There we are. Dick Redats with a loss. Braxton, I've not seen him before. Goes to 4 and 2. Sox Seabold getting a rare game, 2-5. Judge, 3-5. 4 ribbies, which suggests a grand salami. Valdez, 3 and 5. Need to see a bit more of the Badlands team. Yes, good. Cleveland, just taking a bit of a loss at 500. And Arlington and Northstown taking a beating. from Arlington. So here we are. Walter Johnson gets the win over Toad Ramsey. Ramsey only 3 strikeouts this time round. Last time I saw him, he had 10. Stuffy Sternway's back from injury. So, without further ado, guys, let's have a look at the tables, the standings. Let's make it update itself first by looking at Detroit. Just waiting for it to update. It tends not to. Here we are. Here's the update. So Detroit over Jersey, 1 game in it, Clue. 1 game in it to take down the Death Star. Manchester were only 3.5 back, so it's tight. It's still to even Mudville's still in it. Only 10.5 back, Beatles. Only 10.5 back. Hawaii, 5.5 back. Manchester, 3.5 back. Jersey and Detroit. It's tight. So if you look at upcoming games, Jersey at Des Moines. So Cy Young's back in the rotation. You can see that. Now we can slow it down even more because the games are getting that much more critical. I can see that Badlands are eliminated. So that's the league as it stands. I'm not going to do any more. I've done 2 today. I will put it back in the chat. But just want to say thank you to everybody that popped in. Quite a lively crowd today. And this is my normal spot. I would call it my normal spot. Fridays. I don't work on Fridays at the moment. So always look out for me on a Friday morning, your time, if you're in the US, or the North America, I should say. At the European time, it will be our lunchtime. And I might do one later on, depends if I'm up for it. It's not too hot here. And yeah, so thank you, Big Clue, for coming in. Thank you for Rob Tomlinson for coming in. Thank you for Dwayne Martz for coming in and getting that debate going in the 7th inning. Thank you. Thank you for everyone else who popped in. There's quite a few people popped in today. But the main ones, Rob and Big Clue, Rob Tomlinson, Big Clue, and Dwayne Martz YouTube network. So, without further ado, to say thank you. Clue, if you're still out there, I will be in my Discord's on anyway. Oh, there goes a fly, being caught in the flycatcher. Today is a Test cricket day for us over here. It's the Ashes. The Aussies have come to take our Ashes, and we're not having it. So that started today, major sports event. England versus Australia in England. England's exciting Bazball cricketers against Australia's world champions. So it's a big match. 5-game series, 5 days of test matches. So what? So what's that 5 times? 25 days of test match cricket in total. God help them because it's going to be a killer in this heat. But cricket's on now. It's a cricket season in the UK. So, and in different parts of the world, it's cricket season. Definitely over here. Anyway, thanks from me, MV, and I will see you all on the other side. Clue, I'll probably be on later with my little project with MLB The Show, trying to replicate Howie Shanks on it. I think he can do it. All right, see you all. Take care. Bye-bye. Thank you, Dwayne. Thank you very much. I see your message there. Thank you, guys. Take care.